Hello and welcome to our channel Daddy, Dad and Me. We became a family last summer when we adopted our son after starting our adoption journey back in 2018. As you can see from the channel, we have lots of vlogs to help prospective adopters and other adoptive families on their journey to parenthood. We have vlogged all about different aspects of our journey, from stepping foot right inside the adoption agency, the assessment process, and more recently, parenting little man. Here's today's vlog. Hi everybody. Oh my god, where have the last 2-3 months gone? Anywho, I shall save that for another video. It's been a while, but today's video is one of the requests that we have just by one of the comments. Firstly, can I just thank people for still continuing to subscribe, follow, comment, get in touch. It's really lovely that even though we have had some time away from social media, that people are still connecting with the videos, engaging with them. I do read the comments. I may not get back straight away, but there are reasons for it, but I'll share that another day. You will have seen from the title of the video that today is all about Linkmaker. So I have covered this in a video before, but this person actually asked kind of for me to go into more detail, which I'm more than happy to go into. What I would say, this is our experience. Not everybody will have the same experience as us. So, yeah, it's just personal opinion, I suppose, is probably the best way to put it. So in a nutshell, Linkmaker is where the majority of profiles for children are put. When we were looking, so that would be 2019, we had quite, I suppose, a rare opportunities. We had already been put on to Linkmaker by our social worker just as we were starting stage 2. What we have kind of found from talking with other people is that most local authorities tend to not put you onto Linkmaker until you've been approved. Again, everyone has very different experiences, but we kind of felt by the time we were approved as adopters, we'd already seen Linkmaker for a good few months, so we were kind of really already aware as to what was going to happen, what was next. So yes, so Linkmaker is a very secure website. It's where the profiles of children are. Some have photos, some don't. And Joe Blogs can't sign up. What I was about to say is no Tom, Dick and Harry can sign up, and they can't. You have to be approved by your social worker. You have to say where your social worker's from, their email, etc. Behind the scenes, obviously you were granted access, so you couldn't just randomly go onto it. You have to be approved on there, and I'll explain some of the functionality as well, just so it kind of helps you understand what it's really there for. And yeah, when we were looking, there were, I'll probably say, a few thousand profiles, and you can set it to kind of your own requirements, really, what things you would consider, what things you wouldn't, and it really kind of obviously can open up or really decrease the amount of profiles that you see. Again, from our personal experience and our opinion is that some of the profiles were extremely outdated, and you could tell from the profile and some of the information in there that it was like maybe a year, if not longer, out of date, which when you were considering profiles, it made it quite frustrating reading old information. And a few of them, when we'd actually inquired, came back and various things had changed, etc. So just bear that in mind and just kind of think to yourself, is there anything that indicates when this information was put on there? Sometimes it will tell you, but a lot of the time you kind of having to read between the lines. So yeah, you'll get a handful of photos on there. Dependent on who has put the profile on there, really depends as to how much information you will get. You may get War and Peace, which is very helpful really, because you get a really good idea as to kind of day-to-day living, what kind of things have happened before, and kind of the people they're looking for, because they will also note that as well. So that can be really helpful. Again, the other extreme, very limited information, so you're having to read between the lines on those profiles. And then what you should really see is them explaining some of the background of the child. Again, you may need to register your interest, and I'll talk about that in a second, but for a lot of them we found more or less there was quite sufficient information on there. Again, a few of them we were having to think, oh okay, did we want to know more information, would it be relevant to us? And again, so it's one of those situations where you really have to kind of go eyes wide open, really open mind, and just kind of see where you go. And that is really it in a nutshell from the information point of view. It's kind of, I suppose, how much information is put on there. It does vary, that's all I can say. Obviously that's now going kind of a few years ago, so I'm sure things have changed. Sadly we kept seeing the same profiles for some children for quite some time, which really felt disheartening, but also what was really nice, but could be frustrating, is that you would register your interest and then all of a sudden the profile would go, you'd get nothing, and it was, you can't, that's where you can really feel in limbo. So yeah, if you're embarking on your journey, I would just bear that in mind, in that you kind of, I don't know why I'm about to say this, but with prospective adopters and adopters, you really grow a thick skin with everything. You just have to kind of nail on through and kind of push through any of those kind of periods of frustration to try and get through and achieve what you want, obviously, at the end. So yeah, that is really it for the profile. It's what someone is putting on there. If you want more information, you can request it. So this is where it can kind of get a little bit interesting, is that you set up your own profile. So you say the type of child or children you're looking for, a little bit about you, photos of you. In essence, you're selling yourself to people. Some people, like family finders, will be on there, and social workers kind of hunting through profiles. You may get the requests, as we did. You'll get a message saying, would you like to consider XYZ's profile? So they've seen yours, had a little look, think you might be suitable, so they're just introducing you perhaps to that profile, and any questions. And it was quite nice to have messages like that, because it was a kind of gentle way into the actual process of family finding. And then you can register interest in multiple children, but you obviously have to be mindful that you're going to become emotionally involved quite quickly. We at one point kind of had 2 or 3 profiles, and that's the thing, you're not committing to anything at that stage. You're finding out information, you're family finding, and that works exactly the same way with the family finders and social workers that are looking for adopters. And yeah, it's really just kind of going with an open mind. If you need to request information, kind of explain why you think we might be a good match, but we maybe want to know a bit more about that area, or what a little bit of day-to-day is like, and just kind of go along those lines. Once you do register your interest, what you may find is where it's an encrypted website, they can have, I suppose it's like, they're not secret, but you don't get to see the content of those messages, even though it's about you. Social workers can chat between each other, and you'll just get a notification saying there's a message there, but when you read it, it's not for you. So it's them kind of maybe having social worker chat is the only thing that we could presume. And then you'll get to a point where they may ask for your report, your profile as adopters. They may then exchange the full report. So again, there's more information for you to consider. You may have only seen like 1% of their profile, when you get the entire report and any other kind of supplementary forms as well. So, and that's really where the process starts. And yeah, we found, kind of when we did find Little Man's, we were in that headspace that we weren't looking at any other profiles, and I think that's kind of, we found that as an indication to be, right, this is where we want to go. Like we found Little Man, he's found us, kind of thing. But prior to that, you're dealing with kind of different profiles, and you're trying to kind of weigh up what is the best way forward for you. As a family, you start having to think like that, and it's really difficult. saying no is never easy. I don't think any adopter that you speak to finds that easy, saying no. But there are certain reasons why that you have chose to adopt, and you know the kind of the way you want your family to be. So you have to be, I suppose, quite stringent in that aspect, and just really have a clear idea of your expectations. Speak with each other if you're adopting, obviously, together, and don't be afraid if one of you is a little bit unsure to kind of talk it out for a little bit, even with your social worker. Sit down, have a phone chat, Zoom, whatever, and just have that conversation with them to say, look, we found this profile, do you think that's a good idea? A lot of it you should run past your social worker, because you can't really go forward without that kind of stamp with them and getting involved. So what we were doing, whether it's changed now, I don't know, but I don't presume so, is that we were saying, we would message her saying we found this profile, what do you think? She would then say yes, no, whatever reasons why. And again, we were asking for her input as a social worker, because some of the things in there we couldn't fully understand, and it wasn't clear what was actually meant by what they were saying. So yes, but I would say it can be a bit of a minefield information wise, but just be clear in your approach, clear in your expectations, and you really have to just learn to kind of ride that wave. We consider ourselves very lucky. We were approved, and within a few months we'd already found little man's profile, whereas I know and I've seen that it can be very frustrating for people who go through a longer process than that. But stick with it. If you've got any questions about Linkmaker, pop them below. I am more than happy to answer them as best I can. But it's a really good way of family finding. There are other routes available, and I would say have a look around the YouTube adoption community where there's other videos about that. But I hope you found that helpful. It's Linkmaker is a really good place to kind of find it, if that is what works for you, is probably the best thing for me to say. There are other ways and other routes you can pursue kind of the family finding process. Other than that, obviously I'm conscious we've not kind of spoken about little man in school, and it's weird to think spring and summer terms are awaiting us and that's it, year one is done. So crazy. I'm in the process of writing a blog, so that will go up very soon. Please do head over daddydadandme.com, where there's kind of various different blogs. We're over on Instagram as well, Daddy Dad and Me. Please do connect with us. Always happy and love to hear from anyone who's going through the process, anyone who's got any questions. We will try and point you in the right direction if we can help in any way, shape or form. And yeah, any more requests, please pop them below and I will be sure to vlog. But yeah, we've just had a bit of a gap for various reasons. So but yeah, I'll talk about that another day, not for now. And yeah, so hope to see you again soon. I'm shortly going to be recording a vlog about something that we were asked to do, which was really nice. Can't say too much at the moment, but yeah, really lovely to be asked to do something for the community. So yeah, lots of love, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.